This morning I decided that it was better now than never to be able to get the leeks this season. Normally it's about a week from now, but we had a lot of rain, which makes plants grow. So I've made sure that this weekend was open to come to the spot that my dad used to go back when he was younger, and he stayed here. And this is his prime picking spot in Great County. I never grew interest when he did it until it's probably about 3 years ago, almost 4 now I guess, but I didn't like them. He always pickled them and just they were too pungent for me. Now, I don't know what happened, but I love them. I can't get enough of them. Fiddleheads, morels, leeks, holy trinity of Great County. Not just Great County, of course, but around here, you know, you start to look for those fiddleheads. Seem to be the first to pop. The ostrich fern. Don't eat the bracken. You don't want to do that. You'll have a bad day. Usually when those are popping, you'll start noticing morels. I personally have never found a morel, and anybody that I know won't tell me where they are. That's fine. I gotta respect that. But leeks have the longest growth time and harvesting time of all three of those. So I found it the easiest, especially since I already knew where to go. Now where I am, I don't know if you can see this because I have no screen on my camera, but I'm literally surrounded by leeks. The people that pick here, they tend to stay where I am, which is fine, but I don't like thinning out where somebody else has already picked, because these leaves, side note, the leeks have about a 7 or 8 year maturing time frame. For the folks that don't know, it's a long time. You pick a pack of leeks, they're not coming back for 7 years. So it's very ideal to, when you find a pocket, I like to pick about maybe 20 or 25% of it, and then just kind of go from there. I don't like overdoing it. This way it sustains, you know? There's a couple other things that I noticed other people that pick leeks do, and I agree with. There's a pin here. Oh, yeah. One of the things that I'm going to show you to find your leeks, look for the hardwoods. That's your first bet to get in a geographical area, and then you want to look for trilliums. In this location there aren't a lot of trilliums, but I know they're here. If you see the trilliums flowering, you got a good bet that there's leeks around. Not necessarily, but from what I've noticed, if I see trilliums, there's leeks. So, I guess I'll find a pack and I'll show you how I pick them, or prefer to pick them for sustainability. Find a good pack and we'll get rooting on this. Alright, so one of the tools that you're going to want is either a big shovel, which I find fairly destructive but useful depending, or a little trowel. I like these lightweight cheapos because they weigh nothing and they do the job quite well. I'm going to start not with the shovel. I would prefer not to. But as you can tell, there's a little purple trillium, full bloom, and when you look at that, leeks. So probably not even going to need this in this situation, but for the best way to pick these leeks is you'll feel how they are. If you pull them back, sometimes when they're just right, they'll just pop right in. Now this is not the case, but I got lucky. Pulling on the stem usually causes it to snap, and then you don't get your leek. In this case, you'll notice there's a fiber that's wrapped around it. This has got a nice full fiber. These guys are ready for sure. Peel it back, Bob's your uncle. You got yourself a nice, pretty looking leek. Some people field dress them. I don't care, I'll do that later. But the point is that if you can do this just right when they're ripe, that little root button stays in the ground. You don't disturb the roots at all, which gives you a much better sustainability chance for these guys to come back year after year. You will notice they're mostly 2-leaf, but from time to time you get a third, and when that third one pops, if I find one I'll show you, that means they're about to go to seed, which means you're gonna get that flower that pops out, and then they try to do their job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I try not to use the trowel if I can. If you pick along root sides, like near trees, such as over here, if you can get in there, because they're not in the ground a lot, they'll pop out nice and easy. I call them rooties, but that's just me. Majority of this area is redbacks, or that purple tint that's going on. I find a lot of this area, but the other type is the greenbacks. That's a local term. I don't know if that's how people call it in your area, but I don't know. I've always been told that's what they are. You got your redbacks and greenbacks. So I'm going to get started here. Start moseying on over. We'll find some leeks and start picking away, because I want to get some leeks. Ooh, fun guy. Also, if I'm quiet enough, I don't disturb the deer around here, and sometimes you can see one staring at you, which is awesome. And then they turn tail within a quarter second and they jump over whatever's behind them. Next thing you know, they're gone. Yeah, these guys are definitely ready. Nice little snap there. We got some fungus going on here I'm not a fan of, but well, see, that's what can happen if you don't use a trowel. Lift up the root clusters. But you'll hear that little snap. When you get to this point, like that root base stayed in, that was perfect. And if you just push against that way, they just pop right out. They won't do that if they're not ready. So if you're trying and trying, they're not going to happen. That's a great looking leek. They're pretty big. I'd probably say I could have been picking last weekend for a few of these, but they're going to range and we'll be fine. So I'm leaving the other guys and back to normal. Small pack, no big deal. I keep them organized because I'm probably a little OCD. You don't have to, but I do. To each their own. Use my fancy bag. Freshco. Sweet. I'm gonna speed up this process and go find some goodies and move forward, because I don't want to keep picking all day and get this shit done. You're not gonna get a lot. You gotta spend a lot of time doing this, unless you uproot, which I am not ever gonna suggest to anyone. I brought the tools to show you how you can if you want, but I don't suggest it at all. I like the sustainability idea. These things are delicate, and I personally consider them a delicacy. See folks selling them online and it kind of drives me a little bit crazy. It's off your property. Well, you know what, that's your prerogative. Not what I want to do with them. If anything, I give them to friends and family. I do not sell them. I think that's pretty horrible. If you guys look online, you'll probably notice that there's a couple of news pages like CTV that they state that this is an endangered plant now. As you can tell by looking around, it's certainly not endangered unless people stop paying attention and just harvest like mad. Also farmers markets where people are selling them by the pound, whole roots in. I mean, I'd rather see them being sold like that, but it just seems a bit not cool. I don't know if that's like a thing to say, but I don't think it's cool at all. Kind of horrible personally. Yeah, I believe the tiger lily is edible, as I've been told by others, although I don't know them. Oh look, greenbacks! Rocky greenbacks, that's exactly what this is. I'm only taking 2 of these. Boop. Boop. Yoink. Leave the rest for later. Yeah, greenbacks. That's right. Oh, these black flies are horrid. Alright, another great example here. Whew, these black clods are crazy. A lot of people don't bother near the rocks and wooded area because they're hard to pick because they use a shovel. This is where the good groups are. This one's very well grown. I'd probably say 30% bigger than the rest of the gang. It's just a trick to get to them. Move your foliage, try not to bug any of the other plants. These guys are going to be a bit tricky, but I'll bet they're going to be tasty. There we go. So I don't know if you can see this as well as me, but we got a lot of root in here. This is beautiful. These guys will probably fall right out. Oh, they're deep. They're way deep in root base. Oh! Because I haven't been touched in a while. Sometimes you can get your finger under a little pop. Oh! Once you get one, your other friends want to hang it with them. Of course, they're gonna prove me a liar. That's fine. There we go. Yep. There it is. We'll leave the rest. Yeah, I'm not gonna fuss with that. It's gonna be a bit too difficult. That's probably why this pack has been left here. Just a bit hard to get to without disturbing all of them. Oh, thanks. Slow pickings for me. Oh, boy. Oh, greenbacks. Yeah. Oh yeah, these would be poppers. Whoop. Nice. Beautiful. Exactly what you look for. Now stay off to the side. Let's do a half circle. Oh yeah. Funny, just when you think you got like the perfect leak, it defies. Oh, there we go. And one more. There. Leave the rest. That's perfect. That will help a lot. Beauty. Alright, I'm going to stop filming and I'm going to start filling up the bags here. Kind of like a puzzle sometimes. That's it. Well, I've done my share. I got lots to clean up. I could pick more, but I actively choose not to. Ugh. So, lots of leaning over. I keep hearing something, but I don't see anything, which is funny. I have a paranoid mind. What I've done here is hung up the bag that's done, make it visible, carry on. I've already got all my leeks in hand, as far as my camera gear and shit. Stuff, I mean, I'm trying not to swear. I don't offend anybody. Yeah, these leeks are everywhere. Not understanding the endangered part just yet, unless everybody comes out and tries to eat them all the time. Well, I'll give this one. Can't help it. Oh, raspberry bud. Don't you give me no road there. Give me the pop pop. Whew, smells good. You can imagine garlic and onions mixed together. That's exactly what this is. Absolute favorite. Sauteed, put on, yes, on top of a steak. That is dreamy. But also on pizza. Caramelize them first, just toss them on after you get your takeout. Man, that's good. Another good way, I forget the name of the chef that said, he was talking about how if you're to eat something from somewhere, look around you and see what else is available to put on the same plate. Now these grow primarily in maple. So last year I thought, well, why not? Grab some maple syrup off the local Mennonites, you know, support. And, how come I going? After sauteing them, a little bowl, just dip them in it or drizzle the maple syrup on them directly. Holy cow, I did not understand why it was so good. No idea. I never thought to do maple syrup on top of an onion or garlic before, but Bob's your uncle. Damn good. Alright, we found the opening. I'm not going to get lost in the middle of nowhere. That's cool. If I could find a morel or two, I'd be a happy kid. Jeez. If anybody's got some tips for morels, let me know. I'll mail you some leeks. Not really, they'll go bad. Whew. I used to be able to drive the car right up here. And lately, they put rocks in the way. You can't get to the trail anymore, so unfortunate, but hey. Anybody I know that goes in here, they're respectful of the situation. Usually, haven't found any big disappearing acts of leeks, which is absolutely wonderful to know that the other fellas that are here do the same thing for me. As you might have noticed if you watched the last video, I think I want a beer. So I'm going to go home and clean these. I don't know how much battery life I have, but if I can, I'll show you how to clean them quick. Pretty straightforward stuff though. Peel back the fuzz, that fibrous stuff, pop off the root, give it a little snip. Usually paring knife works wonders. Just leave them in. I'd also suggest not doing it in your sink because there is a lot of dirt associated with this. Unless you want to do some piping, you'd go for it. I prefer a bucket outside. It's usually my favorite. Yeah, peel back fiber, pop off root if it's there, snip off the leaf, throw it in some cold water so you can rinse off later. Because after the root, there's like a small single layer film, some kind of protective layer. Generally, it's not ideal to eat it. I don't think it'll hurt you though. It's just like that first layer of skin. Totally edible, to my knowledge. I've never died. I'm still here. Also, if you feel like being a bit courageous, I love leek leaves in a salad. That is definitely going to be on the plate tonight. I'm going to go visit my ma, say hi, give her some leeks, because she doesn't usually get out here too often. And I don't blame her. She doesn't want to go rummaging around in black flies all day. So, see me in focus or not, whatever. Have fun. So I was talking to my friend about picking some of these leeks, and he actually told me a new spot. So I'm gonna come check it out and see what's there. He says it's good, like pocketed, little high density spots, like old growth. So I'm gonna see what I can find. If I find anything, I'll let you know. So hopefully I don't have to worry about my bug dope. And no, I'm not going through in this bush. Big red dots, I ain't touching that. Respect. Update. Nothing. Probably walked about 10 minutes downhill, which it will all be downhill from here, as you can not tell from behind me. But, no leaks. Seen tree stands. Where the hell that is? Where is it? There it is. Yeah. So I know whoever owns that property likes to hunt. I'd like to get to know them. Ha! Maybe not. So I'm gonna keep walking down and see what I can find. Might as well, I'm here. It's nice out. Why not? Hopefully there's some leaks. Thistle bush. Ooh. you're
All right. All right, now you're recording. I messed up. Working on my camera skills. Right now, I'm back in the location. I'm past the usual point where the average pickers are. Lots of black flies, more than last time. Hoodies on, even though it's like 22. Sweating, whatever. It's fun. I'm going primarily for greenbacks that are abundant. I'm going to be picking and popping 2 or 3 per bunch at least. As long as there's 5 to 7, then I'll go 3. If it's smaller, I'll just stick with 2 and carry on. So there's going to be a lot of walking and a lot of breathing in black flies, because they are here. I don't think they're going anywhere just yet. So the popping is much easier this time. I'm going to show you. Super easy. Way better when they're fully grown. You can't really get the small guys though, so I'll show you. Alright, so I found a nice little green patch. As we can tell, I cleared it away to make life a little bit easier for everybody. Once you look in there, you can clearly tell that these things are almost popping out of the ground, which is awesome. So obviously this guy's ready to go. Literally just push against it. Boop. Boom. Nice and easy. Whew. Alright, it's really warm. Leeks are done picking. I'm not doing any more. I got enough again. Some more families are going to get some more out of it, which is great. My head's really itchy from the leeks. So, what I got here is, these guys are huge. And yeah, they're greenbacks too. Super happy about that. There's that root ball that we're talking about. It's not even the ball, it's like this casing. And I field dressed most of them. You just peel half that and the rest comes off. You give them a quick rinse and you're gold. You don't have to do anything else. It'll save you so much time when cleaning these. And hopefully you guys aren't the ones that are selling these, because I don't want to show you that. But, yeah, this is the season. These are pretty close to woody. I'll imagine if I bit one right now, it might be a little too potent for my liking. Still really good. I think they're well worth. What I'm going to do now is pretend that there's no time between here and now and just magically be in my kitchen so I can finish cleaning them. So you can see the final batch and what's going to go where. See you in a minute. Whew. Alright, so that was a lot longer for me than it was for you. I need to do my dishes before I can clean leeks, so I'm gonna do that and then we'll get started. Yeah. I hate dishes. Okay, so as you can tell, I got a decent haul. This isn't just for me though. Again, I prefer to disperse it among people that can't go pick, even though they know how to, or maybe they don't, I don't know. Anyways, cleaning them. I'm gonna get a closer look here for you guys. So as you can tell, a little closer look, I guess I'll be able to see it much nicer. I've never done this with this camera before, but let's see if I can focus on this. All right. Apparently not. Derp. Oh. Yeah, so some have been ripped off with the fibers, some have not. All of these popped, as I mentioned earlier in the video. All of them. Every single one of them. So it's a clear indicator that ideally they should be picked at the end of season because it causes the least amount of damage for the leeks. When you're picking earlier and you need the shovel, like you saw me earlier, I had the shovel. I didn't use the shovel at all today. Last week I had a couple of patches that I wanted to get into. But there's people that go in and they uproot everything. And that's a bummer. But these are much nicer. So I'm going to see if I can do some close-up stuff and let you see about this quick. So we got a few of these here. I'm going to take a green one because I can. See if I'm in the right spot here. Yeah. Alright, so this greenback is pretty dry, not because it's been sitting in my car, but because when it was pulled, it was actually halfway out of the ground. Which is normal for when they're in their prime or slightly past. If you're slightly past, it's not going to have much moisture along the side of it. It'll be a bit harder to do. Take off the last of those little root bits. Got yourself a nice little leek. If you want, snip them off. I go down to where the gradient is between the colors. Snip it there. Throw that in the sink. Give them a rinse. Use the leaves for salads if they look wonderful. Majority rule here, probably 95% of all these leaves are going to be okay. Some of them have started to deteriorate. That's okay. You don't need that. I'm probably not going to fuss with that whole leaf. But I probably will because I don't like wasting stuff. You'll notice this is starting to flower. So that would be able to spread. But also keep in mind the root base of where it is. Not a huge deal if you pick these if you have an abundant zone. If you don't have an abundant zone, let them seed. It's very patient. But yeah, there's a nice little greenback. These are garlicky. Oh yeah, definitely garlicky. So I'm going to do that for all of these and move forward. Found lots of greenbacks. So the last point here, they're all cleaned. I just used a cloth to wipe off the dirt. Move forward. So the last spot here is to cut off the leaf, cut off the leek, and then pack all the stems in a bag and freeze them for making a leek soup stock. You can use the leaves, you can use the leeks too, but I'm just trying to get my most out of the leek. Yeah, I think it's safe to say we're done with this video. I'm kind of tired. I'm gonna have a beer. Garlicky green, sweet red. Hope you guys have fun picking leeks if you get out there. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to see the photos of the adventure, which there are some, there's even some video footage as well. Photos will be on Instagram. I should have the link below if that's where I'm pointing right. I don't know if that's the thing. Yeah, the Frugal Hermit. It's on Instagram. I don't know what else to tell you. The only thing I can think of is the next video coming up. Won't be about harvesting, it's going to be about living. It'll be more of a survival kind of state. It will be the Algonquin trip. It'll be 4 days, 40 kilometers, portaging, hiking, all that jazz. It will be with the Fat Portager, and we're going to try and document it as best as we can. We're both kind of new though, so it's still going to be fun. I'd like for you guys to see it. I think it'll be fun. Anyways, enjoy yourselves. Thanks again. See you soon.